Do you want to know the top 5 down payment assistance and grant programs that exist for first-time homebuyers? I'm going to tell you my top 5, the pros and cons to each, and make sure you pay attention because even if you haven't owned a home for the last 3 years, you're still considered a first-time home buyer. And my name is Meredith. I'm a mortgage broker. I've helped hundreds go from confused buyers to confident homeowners. Now let's get into it. So coming in at number 5 is the NACA program. Now the benefits to this program is they're going to cover your down payment. They're also going to cover your closing costs as well, which is very unique because most programs either cover one or the other, not both of them in full. Also, there's no private mortgage insurance, which is going to save you on your monthly payment about $100 a month. And this is one of the few that's $0 for your cash to close. Now, some of the cons to this is they have very strict guidelines and restrictions. They have income restrictions, credit restrictions. It's also a very long process. You have to get assigned a counselor. You have to go through about a 10-step process. You have to meet their requirements as far as going to a certain amount of homebuyer workshops. This is not a program if you needed to buy a house within the next 3 to 6 months that you're going to get through their pre-qualification process. It normally takes 6 to a lot of times about 10 months. Now, why I'm ranking this number 5 at the bottom is really because the process is so long and demanding and most buyers get burnt out. I mean, it's hard enough to get regular pre-approval and get through the regular process to buy a house, but add in a 10-step process on top of that, which is really hard. And because of that, it's a really good program, but it's not realistic for many first-time homebuyers in today's market. Then coming in at number 4 is going to be the Chenoa Fund. Now the benefits to this program is they're going to cover anywhere from 3.5% to 5% for your down payment. They also has very generous income limits. So if other programs you don't qualify for, you're most likely, because of income limits, you'll most likely qualify for the Chenoa Fund. It's also forgiven after 36 months of on-time payments. If you take 3.5%, if you take the full 5%, then it's forgivable after 120 months of on-time payments. Now, some of the cons to this program is it does come with a little bit higher interest rate, depending on the market, about a 0.5 point to about a 1% higher. So this doesn't help if the monthly payments are going to stretch you thin. And the way to use this the smart way is use this money, get into the house, but make sure you compare your monthly payments. Make sure you're comfortable with the monthly payment if you're going to use this Chenoa Fund, and also understand the stipulations. Just know that this is a forgivable grant, but after a certain period of time. Then at number 3, you have your state and local programs, which there's thousands of them out there. And every state, every county, almost every city has these funds available. And the benefit of them, they all work the same way in that they're going to give you the money to cover either the down payment or the closing costs. It's very rare for them to cover both down payment and closing costs. It's normally one or the other. Now, they allow mid-income level earners, and if you want to see if your income will qualify, at their website, they will show you exactly what their income limits are. And it's normally paired with either an FHA loan or a conventional loan. Now, some of the cons to this is their funds are limited. They come at different times of the year. Also, if the funds have dried out, if the funds have all been used, that's it. That program ends until it either gets replenished with funds or it never comes back. You also normally need a lot longer close time. Typically with these types of programs, you need at least a 45-day close. And the reason for this is your file has to get approved at different levels at these programs itself, which can take a lot of time because you're dealing with, again, government entities. Also, most of them are second liens. You must read the fine print. I know a lot of people that bring me these programs, or clients that came to me wanting to refinance, that they didn't use me in the beginning. They got into one of these programs not realizing that it's a second lien, and when they go to sell or refinance, that money has to get paid back, so it ate up their equity. So again, it's just important to really know what the stipulations are. So long-term planning, if you're wanting to go with one of these, is get pre-approved early, and also research these programs early as well. Make sure you understand all the fine print before you get into one of these programs. And at number 2, you have a USDA loan. Now, the benefit to this type of loan is it's a true 100% financing. There's no down payment required. So you're not having to rely on a down payment assistance program or a grant program to to cover the down payment because again, there's no down payment that's required on this loan. You're also going to get a lot lower interest rate because it's a government loan than if you went with like a DPA program or a grant program with a different type of loan. It's also available in buying a home in rural areas. Now, most of us live in the city, work in the city, we don't want to drive too far, and you might be surprised how close they will consider what's a USDA area. And I will link in the description a link and a website of where to go to find out which areas will qualify for a USDA loan. Now, some of the cons to this is they do have very strict requirements. They have income requirements, they have property requirements as well. It has to be in an approved USDA area. And normally you need a lot longer close time, normally about 40 to 45 days. Also, the overall strategy is you're going to get a lot lower monthly payment if you do use this loan because again, it's a very, very good interest rate on this type of loan. There's no second lien, so you can always refinance, you can always go to sell, and you don't have to pay anyone back. And if rates do drop and you want to refinance into a lower rate than what you already have, again, it's easy to do because there's not any balloon payment, there's not any second lien that's on the property. And at number one, and this one's my favorite out of all of them, it's the FHA First Time Homebuyer Grant. And here's what's included, or here's some of the benefits. They're gonna give you 3.5% to cover the down payment. It's also forgivable, so that means you don't have to pay this money back. Also, here's some of the requirements, or here's some of the cons. This can only be used to buy your primary residence only. You can't use it to buy an investment property up front. Also, the funds are limited. I don't know how long this program is going to last. And they offer very loose income restrictions. So most people that have higher incomes can get approved with this type of grant. Also, here's kind of the overall strategy. If you want to use this grant, just use this to get into the house with very limited out-of-pocket expense. Use this program, it covers the down payment, and also if you want to get your closing costs covered, you can ask the seller to cover that as well. A lot of sellers in today's market is willing to do this. That's how you buy a house with very minimal out-of-pocket expenses. And here are some of the requirements that I didn't talk about before that most of these programs do follow. So when it comes to credit score, most of these programs you need anywhere from a 620 to about a 660 credit score. Now, if you have a 660 plus credit score, you're gonna get access to pretty much all of these programs. If you have a 620, most of these, there's very few programs that will allow a 620 score. Now, when it comes to income, most of these programs need at least a 2-year work history. Now, it doesn't have to be in the same job, doesn't even have to be in the same line of field. You just need to have had a job for the last 2 years. They also really want to see stable and consistent income on top of that. And when it comes to occupancy, all of these programs, you must use it to buy your primary residence only. You can't use it to buy an investment property. You have to live and occupy the property. Now, each of them, they all have different restrictions. Some of them you have to live in the property for X amount of time. Some of them it's the entire time. And if you ever go to rent out the property, sell or refinance, that money has to get paid back. So make sure you understand all of those stipulations up front. And here's some important tips that you need to understand before you take on one of these programs. Is number one, make sure you fully understand what you're signing and what happens after you close on the home. Because there's really 3 major categories that all of these first-time homebuyer programs fall into them. Number one, it's either going to be a forgivable grant, forgivable program. Number 2, they're either going to be a repayable program. You might have to repay that money back on a monthly base. It gets added to your mortgage payment. Or number 3, it's more like a second lien on the home, and you might not have to make any payments during that time of the loan unless you end up going to sell, rent out the house, or refinance. That's when that money becomes due. Also, number 2, a lot of these programs, the funds are limited. So in most of these, you can't reserve the funds until you've actually gone under contract. So even if you qualify today, these funds still might not be available by the time you find a house. So make sure that you have an alternative plan if that's the case. And here's how you can apply and get access to these programs is number 1, you want to work with a mortgage broker like myself because they have access to all of these different types of programs. And with one credit pull, with one application, they can look and see through all the multiple programs, which one is going to be the best for you and your situation. Also, during the pre-approval process, they're going to pre-approve you based on the program's guidelines. And then when it comes to time to reserve the funds. Again, many of these programs, you can't reserve the funds until you go under contract. So the actual mortgage broker will do that on your behalf, and they'll also help you with the entire loan as well. So if you're planning to buy a house and you want to know how much your buying power is with one of these programs, click on the link in the description, schedule a call, and I'll be in touch.